Look, Leicester, Montano has a release fee, so I'm not accepting anything that I don't have to. Hello? Oh, hi, Your Highness, how is thee? A takeover, but nothing's changed. Well, that's news, I suppose. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Queen of the South. It is Season 7, Episode 2 on the Impossible Dreams. We look to win the Champions League with our we're moving into the group stage tonight. It is FC Basel over 2 legs in Champions League qualifying. Now, there's a little bit to catch you up on. The big thing here, potentially, is the bid that Leicester City made for Mauricio Montano. Now, he has a release fee of 15.5, I think, million. So they were just short of that, which is obviously a good thing. I'm not accepting anything less than that. That's the maximum release fee, the maximum minimum release fee, if that makes sense, that he was willing to have in his contract, and he won't negotiate again with us. He basically he's not that he wants to leave, but he doesn't want to sign a new contract, which is fine because we've got 4 more years of him, on this contract. So there's not an urgent need. But at some point, if somebody does offer 15 whatever it is million, then he will be off. So that is a bit of a shame. This is the Champions League draw there, though. So that's what we've got upcoming. They beat PSV in extra time. It was 2-1 on aggregate. They beat PSV. So we'll catch up with how we got on shortly. But obviously, this was a done deal after the first leg. Now, the other thing that's happened, there's no real way to show you this, is that we've had a change of ownership. If we go and have a look at staff, and if we go to everybody here, I think that brings up the top dogs, doesn't it? So Tony Bloom, is the new chairman or chairperson. That is basically the only way that we can show it. Houston, I think it was the previous chairperson. So yeah, that's literally the only way. Nothing's changed. There's no new money. The only thing that was a small change, if you have a look at Club Vision here, is that now the club culture is to develop players using the youth system. So that was one change, but everything else is essentially the same. You can see there's a few things there actually that have changed in terms of off the field stuff, but yeah, there's no extra money. There's nothing like that. So yeah, that is all what it is. Now, there's one other thing I did have to catch you up on. That was the goal that you guys voted as goal. Actually, before we get to goal of the season, we did make a signing. Don't get too excited, though. It's a free transfer. It's Daniel Armstrong. He is just a bit of a prospect. Potentially, there might be something there for us. He signed on a free transfer, £350 a week. So it's a little bit of a, if it comes off, it comes off. If it doesn't, it doesn't. He was released by Everton, and I just thought, well, what's that? If we can get a 3-star defender that is English now, but he's young enough that he could become club trained for us, then it might work out for us. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's absolutely fine. All right, let's have a look at the goal that you guys voted as goal of the season last season. And for what it's worth, I think you got this 100% right. It is a beautiful effort here coming up from Bermudez. Just bends it. Oh, it's sumptuous, isn't it? A wonderful, wonderful goal from Bermudez. To the finances are roughly as they were. Nothing really has changed too much there. We've moved some money from transfer budget into wages just so that we're, everything's okay in that sense. But yeah, that is everything. The other thing that's happened is we can see, maybe you can see, we've got 95% of transfer revenue we get to keep now. So that's been changed. That's been changed for a while, actually. I think that happened over the summer, and I forgot to mention it. So that's excellent. Obviously, we get most money that we bring in. We get to then keep that as well. So everything they're caught up on. Let's go get some on-field action. The first game to catch you up on in the league was against newly promoted Livingston. Duque got the only goal. So it was the rapid winger that we signed with a header at the back post. Exactly what we signed him to do. It was a game that we can see there we absolutely dominated just without goals. How many times do we see that from us? We did have another goal from Duque disallowed correctly for offside. So, yeah, I mean, Irving came in. I gave him a game here. He was brilliant. Leslie is looking good at the back as well. It was a comfortable win. Next up, it was the Champions League game against Spartak Moscow. It was 3-1 in Moscow. We looked very comfortable there. Let's see if we could be just as comfortable in the second leg. Paredes crossed for Angus to extend our lead before Spartak Moscow got a late consolation. So Johnny Angus popping up again with his third goal of the tie and of the season as well. Obviously, I mean, it was a non-event, to be honest. There wasn't that many highlights. We did kind of just clock off a little bit at the end there, but you can see when they scored. If you can see the XG tracker there, we did fire up again, so it was comfortable. We were never in any doubt of not going through, and that's the main thing, isn't it? Next up, it was the Betfred second round against Wraith Rovers. I'm almost positive we played them at this stage last season's competition as well. We smacked them. I think we beat them 7-1 on that occasion. Let's see what happened this time. We went ahead when Thompson's cross found its way to Johnson. Johnson got his second late on, and then completed his hat-trick when Razayev played him in. Clockety got our fourth. But Nicholson's misheader allowed Wraith to get one back. Leshy got a first goal for the club, before Wraith got a second. So a lot happened late on in this game. It was a run-as-you-mill 1-0 game. Bermudez missed a penalty in the first half. I actually didn't mean to pick him in this, but I just forgot to take him out, to be honest. Yeah, we got the second goal in the 77th minute, and then all hell broke loose. Johnson ended up with a hat-trick, so that's excellent. We ended up taking Bermudez off because I didn't actually want him to play the game, and brought Clockety on. He got himself a goal. We gave the young winger Turpey a start. Genoa came off the bench once the game was relatively safe to give Duque a break. And Nicholson, one of the young centre-back we signed from St Johnstone, he got a start in this one as well. And there was a bit of a mismatch of a side because I played Lecce next to him just so we had someone who seems to be reliable in his early games for us. But anyway, it was a really, really good performance aside from the penalty miss, and yeah, all a little bit crazy at the end. Now it looks as though it's either Inverness or Celtic in the quarterfinals, so you'd imagine Celtic would get through there. We do have a game in the league against St Johnstone, which I'll play through, because we obviously are focused on getting into the group stage here. And, well, that's the league table. 2 games in, ourselves and Celtic lead the way. Rangers a win and a draw after we beat them in the opening game of the season, of course. But let's go and have a look and see what we're doing here against Basel. It's a 4-2-3-1 formation that we're expecting from them. We're away from home in the first leg, as you can see. And this is the team we're sending out. Sentizo in goal, Vazquez, Walker, Bernard and Montano as the back four, Bayless, Paredes and Ibarra in midfield, Bermudez in behind, Johnny Angus and Lutzi, and a bench of Stone, the goalkeeper, Leshy, Gilchrist, Davenport, Nakai, Duki and Suljic. The only injury concern is Varela, who is not quite back yet, but he wouldn't have played here anyway. Vazquez, I think, is still the number one guy. And as for our young winger that's coming through, he's been playing well when we've given him a chance off the bench, and he's already showing a little bit of a trend in the right direction there. All right, so we can see the team sheets. Do we recognise names? That goalkeeper name sounds familiar, but there's no one. Kasami, he was he at Fulham back in the day? He must be getting on a little bit by now if it's that who I'm thinking of. Felipe Melo is there, so he's going to come on and try and break some legs, I assume. All right. I don't know what to say. We should be. Don't let me down. No, just enjoy it. Have fun. Ultimately, with no away goals, the away leg doesn't actually mean that much anymore. So we just there's no point counting away goals, obviously. So it's just a case of putting ourselves in a decent position when we get home to go and get back into this Champions League group stage. We will, in all likelihood, end the episode with the group stage draw, whether it be Champions League or Europa League. It just depends exactly when it takes place. As long as there's not another game before it, then we'll do it this episode. If not, we'll do it next episode. But let's hope that it's going to be a Champions League draw, and let's hope it's not going to be too nervous for us either. One thing we have done well historically in these qualifying rounds is put in a really good first leg performance, so the second leg is a little bit more comfortable for us. As we've got a highlight here, Walker gets it wide for Vazquez. Now, can Vazquez get a cross in? One thing Johnny Angus has shown is a decent ability in the air. It goes beyond him, though, to Montano. Can he pull it back? It's Angus. Oh, it's blocked away and then hacked behind. And we'll have a corner. Paredes goes over to take it. Can we find one of the big centre-backs? He's going towards the back post. It's down, it's Angus! Oh, and Johnny Angus, it's still there. It's not. The goalkeeper has it. And, well, a little bit of a let-off there for Basel. Or Basel. I think one's French and one's the English way of saying it, isn't it? That's why That's why it's confusing, and I'm never sure. I guess I should say it the English way, given that's what I speak. But I like to sound cultured. You know, people don't know that I'm uncultured if I can say things like Basel. All right, we've got another highlight here. Let's see if we can finally break them down here. Paredes goes back to Walker. Back to Paredes. Can he pick a pass for us? He gets a nice ball out there for Vazquez. Back in, it's Lutzi. I'm not sure if he's onside. He squares it. No, it's blocked again. Good last-ditch defending, but on this occasion, the Wellington staying still, but his flag is down. And it's Omar Bermudez. We still have an Omar at the club. And he's opened the scoring for us here in the first leg. It is 1-0. And some nice play. I thought Lutzi may have been offside. First time the cross was blocked. No one, look at that. Bermudez just ghosting in, completely unmarked. And just had a simple side foot finish to give us a lead. Excellent stuff. Johnny Angus is looking anxious and nervous. He was nervous before the game too, wasn't he, in the dressing room? Hopefully he gets over that relatively quickly. I don't know if you can hear Ava crying in the background, but must be bath time. And I don't know if the mic's picking that up. She is not happy. And anyway, it is 1-0 at halftime. We'll point our finger. We'll say, don't get complacent. Where is that? I don't want to even see a hint of complacency. Johnny Angus, man, what is wrong? Let's outstretch our arms. You're playing well. He's now demotivated. All right, who's on the bench? Suljic. Warm up, mate. You might be required here. What has happened to Johnny Angus? He was doing so well against Spartak Moscow. And he comes up against the Swiss side, and I mean, he just looks like he can't be bothered. Paredes over a free kick. Into the box. It's a good header away. Bermudez will pick it up, though. And let's see what he can do. Montano. Montano to Bernard. And all the way back we go to Santizo, who's a long way from home there. Nice ball forward, though. It's promising that we've got a goalkeeper who's confident enough to go and do that and actually pull it off as well. The last thing he needs is a goalkeeper that's confident to do that and can't do it. Vazquez, this is a little bit scrappy, but we've got a bit of foot on the ball time now. But a nice ball from Bayless to Montano. Look at Montano again. He's got time for the cross now. Can he pick it out? He goes towards Lutzi. Oh, and Lutzi goes just over the bar. A second goal would be very, very nice indeed, wouldn't it? Do we take Angus off? He's still looking unmotivated. Let's try a focus. I don't... It's just not his day, is it? So let's get Suljic on. Suljic. Oh, what's happened here? Lutzi's injured. Alright, well, I guess you can stay on then, Angus. The other option is maybe to go with wingers just now. We could bring Duque on. That actually works, doesn't it? Well, no, because we have to bring Suljic on anyway. Either way, he'd have to come on. So let's just leave it. And because ultimately we'd need Angus up front to lead the line either way. And there's a header, and it's Andrew Walker, and it's 2-0. Walker's first of the season, and that is, well, that's a goal that will hopefully take the pressure off when we get back to, I think it's Kilmarnock we're playing our European games at this season. Oh, there has been a question in the comments about expanding the stadium or building a new stadium. I have been asking the board say no, and there's just nothing I can do at that point. Short, I mean, the only thing we could do is quit, and that's kind of pointless because then we're not going to be here anyway. So, yeah, I have been asking, but the board say no. It's a little bit frustrating because we do sell out against Rangers and Celtic, and if we could get it to a point where we can get more people through for that game and then host our own European games, that would be nice. But the board are they're still saying no. They're not going to do it. But the game kind of ticked by once we went 2-0 up. And, well, given that that's the away leg, that's all very, very nice. But concern now turns towards Lutzi's injury. So Celtic have won against Inverness, so that's a bit of an annoyance. But that's who we'll be facing in the Betfred. Good win against Basel. It's just a tight hamstring, so that could have been worse. The fact he went straight off, yeah, that could have been much worse than a tight hamstring, couldn't it? Bernard continues to be an absolute defensive colossus at the back. And, well, guys, wait right there. I'll play through the St Johnstone game. We'll be back for the second leg and hopefully get our place in the group stage. Okay, welcome back. Now we're getting ready for this second leg. But before that, we need to catch up what happened in the league against St Johnstone. So let's go see what happened. Sonny Harding got the points with a trademark strike. So it was a game that everybody seemed nervous and anxious the entire way through the game. I don't really understand why that was, but Sonny Harding have scored, 3 or 4 goals like that at least, that I can remember already. So it is the trademark Harding strike, and we needed it, because without that, I'm not sure the breakthrough would have ever come, to be honest. But there we go. We got 3 points. Excellent stuff. If we look at what that means for the league table, Rangers have dropped more points. Aberdeen beat them 3-0. So, yeah, Rangers, maybe they're in a little bit of trouble this season, but we're still going neck and neck with Celtic, albeit their goal difference is already 4 better than ours after 3 games. But let's go and have a look here and see what we're doing against Basel. This is Operation Get into the Champions League group stage, and this is a team we're sending out. Santizo in goal, Vazquez, Walker, Bernard, and Gilchrist. The reason Gilchrist is playing is because I accidentally played Montano in the league, so he's a little bit destroyed and needs a rest here. He is wanted by a few teams. That minimum release fee is worrying me. It's a week to go in the transfer window as well, so there is time for something to happen there. Bayless, Parades, and Ibira will be in midfield. Bermudez in behind, Johnny Yengus and Lutzi up top. Let's get out there. All right, so the team sheet, it looks roughly the same team, doesn't it, from the first leg, and we'll continue the good run, shall we? They've lost 2 of their last 3 games to pile on the misery. All right, let's just keep going with the good run. 2-0, it's I mean, there is no away goals, which it means that, it's just, obviously you know what it means. It doesn't matter what the, what the score is here. We just need to make sure we don't lose by more than a goal if we're going to lose. And you'd like to think we'll be able to do that. But obviously time will tell momentarily. It is Kilmarnock. We're at Rugby Park. That's where our European games are taking place this season. And they're looking pleased with themselves, which is good. We'll give them some praise, given that we're already ahead in the league, and in the tie, I should say. It looks like we've got a free kick here. Parades with a chance to get a first goal for the club. Leandro Parades. Oh, it's a good one, Angus. Oh, it's unlucky. So close to going ahead. It was a good free kick from Parades as well, but Johnny Angus almost on the rebound tucked away the opening goal, and it would mean that he would have scored in every Champions League tie so far this season. Still has a chance to do that, of course. Bermudez wins it back nicely. Bayless to Lutzi. What can Lutzi do? Lutzi's in. Lutzi! I think he's hit side netting. But already inside 10 minutes, we've gone close on 2 occasions. So that is obviously good. In terms of the rest of the transfer window, I don't think we'll do much unless we have our hands forced, and Bernard at the back post can't miss. It is the easiest goal he'll score. I'm not sure what happened at the near post. The ball just kind of trickled across the goal mouth. Not sure what Angus was doing there, but it just trickled. I don't know if it was a flick on that was blocked. I think it was. It's Lutzi, I think, has just kind of helped it on. And Bernard with literally the easiest goal he'll score in his career. And it's 1-0, 3-0 in aggregate. And that should be that. We do have Parades a booking away from a suspension. So it's very tempting to take him off. And make sure we're going to have him for what will hopefully be the first game of a group stage. But I think we probably want at least another goal before we look to do something like that. Bermudez has possession to Bayless with some space. To Johnny Yengus. Johnny Yengus to Lutzi. If Lutzi's onside, which I don't know that he is. I think he's gone early. I think if the pass had come from Bayless, he would have been okay. I suspect this might be getting, disallowed. We'll have another look at it, though. But I think if the pass had come directly from Bayless, which I don't think it was, they didn't really have an avenue to pass through there anyway. Just slightly mistimed. But we'll allow him that particular error. Just keep praising them. If we can get to half-time, Parades is playing really, really well, which is promising considering it's so early in his time at the club. But, you know, it's such a big game for him to be sort of leading the way for us in midfield there. That's quite promising. But that being said, I want to make sure he's there for the big goals penalty. Bernard, I think it is, has gone crashing to the ground, presumably pushed. And is it going to be Bermudez to take the penalty, given that he missed the last one he took? I'd be a little bit nervous about that. Let's hope he gets back on his bike here. No, it's Johnny Angus to score for the 4th time this season and keep his record of goals missed. So apparently penalties aren't our thing this season. And that will be half-time. And, well, we really did have a chance to put that game well and truly to bed. We've missed that, but no complacency here. And I think what we'll do is we will take off Paredes for Andy Irving, who is more than capable of playing there. And just make sure that Paredes is going to be available for that first group game, assuming that it comes. And if it doesn't come now, then I've made a big mistake, haven't I? But we've dominated this game. We really, really have. The XG is a little bit boosted, of course, from the penalty, but even that aside, we deserve to be more than a goal up, and Johnny Angus is having a little bit of a nightmare. What has happened to him? Did he score in the first leg? Suddenly I'm doubting myself that he scored in every tie. I can't remember who got the goals in the first one. Hopefully he did, or I've made a complete ass of myself. 25 minutes to play. Good block there from Gilchrist. And if they were to get one now, you know, they need 2 more. There's still time for them to get them. Next goal is it really important, isn't it? If there is to be another goal. Angus has nicked that. Read him like a book. You've got Lutzi. We've got Bermudez getting forward. Can Johnny Angus get the cross in? He can. It's Lutzi at the near post. Lutzi's not missing that. And this time he is onside, and this time it is 2-0 on the night, 4-0 on aggregate, and that is now job done. And Johnny Angus may have missed the penalty, but he did all the good work there. 1 possession, got the cross in, and Lutzi at the near post. Maybe a bit of a shin, but doesn't matter. Ball's in the back of the net. They don't draw pictures, and it is 2-0 on the night. Do we want to make any other changes? Let's give Bermudez a rest. Let's get Nakai on. Bermudez, of course, he played that one game that I forgot to take him out. I forgot to switch him and Nakai around. That was the Betfred, I think, wasn't it? So he's just a little bit more tired than he should be this time. Oh, you know what I wanted to do, damn it, is give Varela some game time too. He's just coming back from injury. And he'll start the next game in the league is the plan. But there we go. We are going back to the Champions League group stage. Qualifying is not as difficult as I thought it was going to be, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's the new Champions League. Happy we won the tie. Yeah, well done, boys. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's the new Champions League format that's coming in. But there's not. We're not playing any runners up from the big 5 anyway. But anyway, there we go. Let's not complain about how we get there. As long as we got there, we've got Gilchrist on form. I've just seen the money that we have coming in, which is excellent. Passing was good. So we've got another 12.5 mil in the bank. That makes it all look very nice. 35 million. Do we have... Can we ask for the stadium now? I wonder if the new... let's try expand the stadium first. And then we'll ask to build a new one if they reject that. But I wonder if the new owner will be a little bit more available, let's say, perhaps for that. Anyway, we've got the group stage draw coming up next, so don't go anywhere just yet. All right, so the group stage draw, we are seeded 3rd in the 3rd pot. Was that where we were last year, or have we gone up a pot? I can't remember now where we were last year. First seeded teams, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Inter, Sporting Lisbon, yes please. Real Madrid, RB Leipzig, who of course we knocked out last season. They were in our group, Paris Saint-Germain and Trabzonspor, who I would do unspeakable things to get them in our group. So let's just click through quickly here. So we want Group B. That's what we want. We'll take Group H or G if not, but Group B is the money group, isn't it? The second seeds, we've got both Manchester teams, Juventus, Milan, Barcelona, Chelsea, Dortmund, and Monaco. Well, Monaco's the one, isn't it? Dortmund, of course, who knocked us out of Europe last season. So the Trabzonspor group just got a little bit less appealing, but it's still the one we want, isn't it? Dortmund are in a group with PSG, sorry. Man United and RB Leipzig, Barcelona in sport. So suddenly there's no real good group. We still want Group B, don't we? The other third pot teams with us are Benfica, Celtic, Real Sociedad, Ajax Lyon, Shakhtar, and Dynamo Kiev. So obviously we can't get any of those anyway. But let's hope for Group A. Bayern Munich and AC Milan. Could we beat AC Milan? They're one of those teams that... Oh, we've gone one too early there. So Lyon get Group H. Yeah, that's not great. So the fourth seeds, we've got Club Brugge, Zenit, Sparta, Florentina, Karabag, Athletic Club, so that's Bilbao, isn't it, who we don't want, Freiburg and St. Gallen. I think we want to avoid the Spanish and German teams. Anybody else, or Florentina as well, we'd want to avoid, wouldn't we? But if we can't get Florentina because we're the two Italian teams, and we can't get Freiburg. So as long as if we get Athletic Bilbao, it's a group of death, and we might not be in Europe for long. Not Bilbao, Karabag. Okay, that's doable. So I look at that group, and I think worst case scenario, Europa League, and that's what we want to do, is stay in Europe as long as possible. But yeah, I look at that group and I think we'll do well, I think, to get out of it again. Although we did get through last season in a group that looked just as tough. But Karabag, I think, should be beatable, and they'll probably say the same thing about us. But I fancy us to get at least third in that group, if I'm honest. But anyway, that will be next episode. We will be back next time for Aberdeen in the league. I suppose we'll come back for that one, given that they just beat Rangers as well. And then we'll get things underway at home against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. If you've enjoyed that, guys, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. The transfer window will have closed at that point as well. Hopefully, we still have Montano and the rest of our wonder kids, and I don't know if there's going to be a time or the ability for us to sign anybody else, but we'll certainly have a go if we can. Take care.